It's now time for your favorite in-depth basketball show with the myths, the legends, Nard Dogg and Raindrops Nard.
Team USA has once again proven their dominance in the world of international basketball. Welcome to another episode of Full Court Press. I'm Justin Raindrops Goulet, of course, joined as always by the man, the myth, the legend, the Nard Dogg, David Bernardi. Now, on this episode of Full Court Press, we're going to talk about Team USA at the 2016 Summer Games in Rio, take a look at the NBA schedule, and talk a little bit about some new jerseys that the Raptors are going to be debuting this upcoming NBA season. First things first, Nard Dogg, how's it going?
It's going really well, Goulet. I'm just loving life, enjoying the final bits of summer, having time.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Now, Team USA certainly had a time at the Rio Games this summer. 96-66 final score in the gold medal game against Serbia. No, honestly, never really a doubt in my mind that Team USA was going to win gold. What are your thoughts on Team USA's performance at the Summer Games this year?
Yeah, I think without a doubt, everyone knew that they were going to win the gold, but there was a few games during the Olympics where they were actually close. And I guess with the whole NBA experience and all that, and the Team USA, they pulled it off in every game, undefeated as always.
Yeah, Australia gave them a little bit of a scare.
Yeah, they did. Patty Mills, the backup point guard on the Spurs, I think he averaged something like 22 points a game.
Oh, wow.
Australia in the Olympics. And I don't know, he could be a nice replacement for Tony Parker going forward.
You know, a good sign of things to come for the San Antonio Spurs once Tony Parker follows Tim Duncan's lead and once Tony Parker steps away from the game, right?
Yeah, and we also saw another Spur who played his final game for Argentina, Manu Ginobili.
Manu Ginobili, definitely a Hall of Famer, no doubt in my mind about that.
100%.
Yeah, no doubt at all. Manu Ginobili, one of the best Spurs in franchise history, and he definitely made an impact in the world of basketball.
Yeah, he got pretty emotional in his final game, and I don't blame him. His team beat the States in 2004 for the gold medal at the Olympics. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, it's certainly something. Now, there's all these NBA players, these names that are coming up. Big question I want to ask you, and I really want to focus on this. Do you think NBA players should be allowed to play in the Olympics? Should they be able to represent their country? Because they're already playing in those professional leagues. But do you think that NBA players should play on Olympic rosters?
I think they should. If you want to beat the best, you got to play against the best, and the NBA players are the best. That's just what it is.
It's fair enough. That's a good point. And you look at some other players that are on other international teams. They play professionally in their country of origin.
Like we had Bojan Bogdanovic from Croatia. He led the Olympics in scoring with 25 a game. We got Yi Jinyan, who actually just got signed by the Lakers, a one-year deal.
Back in the NBA.
And, of course, Paul Gasol was there. And Jonas Valanciunas. Andrew
Bogut.
Luis Scola. And Nando De Colo, former Raptor, was in the Olympics. And there's one guy I was loving in the Olympics, Andre Nocioni. He used to play for the Bulls back in the NBA.
I remember him, yeah.
He left. He played really well. I think he scored 40 points in a game against Brazil this summer. And I would love to see this guy back in the NBA.
Wow. Yeah, that's something. And that is a good point that you bring up. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And these professional athletes certainly are the best.
What the male soccer teams do in the Olympics is they have you can play your professional, like say Lionel Messi. You can play 3 players that are over 23 in the Olympics in soccer. Only 3. The other, they have to play under 23.
Interesting. But looking at Team USA though, I know Team USA is completely comprised of NBA players. Should they allow amateurs to be on the team or even get some college players on the roster?
Um, yeah, I don't know. It'd be a nice experience. They did that back in '92, I believe, with Christian Leitner. He was on the dream team. And yeah, he hadn't played a game in the NBA. He was on Duke.
That's true. So maybe it's something that we'll see in the future. Who knows? And Carmelo Anthony, I just want to throw Carmelo Anthony's name out there. Talking about the best of the best, Carmelo Anthony proved that he's certainly one of the best. 3-time gold medalist with Team USA.
Yeah, definitely. He's done really well for Team USA all these years. And do you think that's going to get him in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, he'll probably most likely get in the Hall of Fame anyways.
I think Carmelo Anthony, even if Carmelo Anthony doesn't win an NBA championship, just looking at his Olympic play, leading Team USA, he's going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he got pretty emotional as well after he won when he was he had a post-game interview saying it's going to be his last Olympics and he's enjoyed the ride and all that.
Yeah, because it certainly must be a really special experience. You're traveling to wherever the host country is and you're representing your country, something really special. So it doesn't surprise me that these players get emotional when talking about their last game. But Carmelo Anthony certainly went out with a bang, went out on the highest of notes, winning another gold medal. Just Team USA is so dominant, and I don't know if we're going to continue to see this dominance because there may be some of these players that don't return to the team as the years go on and on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I won't be surprised if Team USA wins another gold at the 2020 games in Tokyo.
Yeah. I think Raptors fans should be excited because 2 of their star players got a gold medal, and that's huge experience for them.
Of course.
Like Durant, Klay Thompson, DeMarcus Cousins, Paul George, Draymond Green. List goes on. I would love that if I'm a Raptors fan.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's certainly great. And I knew that Team USA was going to win gold. I probably should have put money on it. And although I'm a proud Canadian, I was rooting for Team USA because Canada was not participating in the Olympics this summer, unfortunately. But I was happy when Team USA won because there's that Canadian connection because DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, they're now Olympic gold medalists with Team USA. And they're bringing those gold medals back to Toronto.
And a lot of people are even saying that Kyle Lowry was probably the best point guard on Team USA.
He did a great job. He really stood out and really held his own. Both DeMar and Kyle Lowry did a great job representing the Toronto Raptors.
DeMar had a highlight dunk almost every game.
It's fantastic. And it's so great to see. As you said, it's wonderful to see that as a Toronto Raptors fan. Now, speaking of the Raptors, the NBA has released the schedule for the season. Now, the Toronto Raptors, their first game of the season is actually taking place on Wednesday, October 26th. They're taking on the Detroit Pistons.
October 26th, that's pretty early. It usually starts at the very last couple days of October, but really 26th.
Sometimes on Halloween, October 30th, October 31st, even November 1st sometimes. But yeah, October 26th, the NBA season officially kicks off on Tuesday, October 25th. We've got the Knicks versus the Cavs, the Spurs versus the Warriors, and the Jazz versus the Trailblazers. I'm really liking the Spurs versus Warriors matchup on opening night.
Warriors, yeah, that's going to be fun.
That's going to be a good one.
And then we get to see Derrick Rose probably go out for the season against the Cavs. Sorry, I had to say that.
Oh, the Nard Dogg's been let out of the cage.
Best of luck to Derrick Rose, but he called it himself. He said that the Knicks are a super team. Let's see how that goes.
Yep, we'll see how that goes. But we will get to see LeBron versus Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, usually the Christmas Day games, they have the top teams in the NBA. So you'd think the Raptors would get a Christmas Day game, right? Nope, they didn't get one.
They didn't, which I don't think. As far as I know, the Raptors have never had a Christmas Day game.
No, they don't. And yeah, they have the likes of the Knicks and the Celtics playing on Christmas Day, but the Raptors were what were they? 2 games away from going to the NBA Finals, and no respect there.
No Christmas Day game, but I just hope that the Raptors start off the season with a W. They're facing the Detroit Pistons, so we'll see what happens. And it's a home game. It's at the ACC.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That for sure. That will be a good time, and I'm looking forward to the season. As you said, they were 2 games away from the NBA Finals. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in franchise history. I think if they play like they did last year, they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals again.
Oh yeah. And speaking of the upcoming season, they have new jerseys to unveil.
Some fancy new gear. I love these jerseys. 2 different designs. One honoring the past, the Toronto Huskies. Now, Toronto Huskies played in the first ever NBA game, which a little fun fact for if you didn't know that, Toronto Huskies versus New York Knickerbockers was the first ever NBA game at Maple Leaf Gardens, which I take a lot of pride in that fact. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's quite historic. And I do love the jerseys. They wore jerseys a few years ago, white ones, but this time around they're wearing blue ones, which look pretty nice.
They look kind of like an old school, or kind of like an old school college jersey, if you know what I'm trying to get at. They look really nice. A simple design, but I think they look fantastic. I really like the blue, and I also like their celebrating Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year on January 28th, 2017.
That's a red one.
Yep.
With white lettering. I don't know what it's. I'm guessing it says Raptors.
Raptors or Toronto. I'm not sure exactly what it says, but it looks cool. And they're going to wear that jersey twice during the regular season.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. I'm thinking of getting that blue one though.
I do like the blue. If I had to choose one, I prefer the blue one. Because the blue one's different because the Raptors have a red jersey, which they wear regularly.
Yeah, I don't like that one personally. But
I prefer the blue Toronto Huskies jersey commemorating that past. It's cool that they're doing that, though. It's cool that they've got these 2 different jerseys, like I said, to honor the history of the franchise in basketball in Canada, and also honoring Chinese New Year. I think that's pretty cool of the Toronto Raptors to do that.
yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love it, Goulet.
Yeah, I am very excited for this NBA season. Now, is there anything else happening around the world of basketball that you want to chat about?
Now we've discussed this before, DeMarcus Cousins, but now it's coming out that other NBA execs and they're saying that DeMarcus Cousins is not going to return to the Kings in 2018 when he's a free agent. And we've discussed this in the past where I think Cousins would be a great fit on the Raptors. And we've seen he's had 2 months to be with DeRozan and Lowry in his ear. And supposedly him and DeRozan are good friends. So, Masai Ujiri, get on that.
I could see him being a good fit if that were to happen. You'd get rid of Jonas Valanciunas. Now, I'm a huge fan of JV. If I had to choose JV over DeMarcus Cousins, I would go with DeMarcus Cousins. And DeMarcus has the experience now of playing on Team USA with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. So they had a whole summer playing together in very intense matchups in like the highest of competition. So I think DeMarcus Cousins could actually fit well with the Toronto Raptors, and he'd be on a winning team, so he'd be happy. So I don't think his attitude problems would come into play as much as they do in Sacramento.
Yeah, that's been his problem in the past, his attitude problems, and being on a winning team, like say the Raptors, and we saw this during the Olympics where we had 2 months of seeing Cousins during training camp with the U.S. and the games at the Olympics where he didn't say anything. He was just loving his life, being on a winner. Like, you put him on a winning team and he'll be Mr. Nice Guy Cousins.
That's the case for a lot of people. If you're winning, you're happy. And that doesn't surprise me. Everybody likes to win, right? I'd like to see DeMarcus Cousins on the Raptors, and who knows, Masai Ujiri, he is an excellent general manager. Who knows what he can pull off in the next, in the next few years, and with his tenure with the Toronto Raptors.
I know. DeMarcus Cousins for Jonas Valanciunas, Terrence Ross, and I hate to say it, I wouldn't want this guy to go, Norman Powell. I think that would be a fair trade.
I wouldn't like, I out of those three that you named, as I said, I'm a huge fan of JVs, but I would choose DeMarcus Cousins over JV. It would be very unfortunate to get rid of Norman Powell. But for Norman Powell's development, I feel like if they knew what they were doing in Sacramento, he would get a lot of playing time and be able to grow as a player. Well, Nard Dogg, I think that's going to wrap things up for this episode of Full Court Press. Where can people find you on the social media, on the Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz?
Oh, you can find me on the Twitter and Instagram at DavidBernardi7.
Right on. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JustinGoulet21. And of course, remember to check out the Facebook page, hit like, go on the YouTube channel, subscribe so you get every new episode of Full Court Press. You can listen to the past episodes that we've done over the years. It's been a while now. It's been over 2 years since we started Full Court Press, which is just wild to think about.
It's been a grand time, though. A lovely, lovely grand time.
It most certainly has. As always, keep the basketball movement alive and strong. I'm Justin Raindrops Goulet, joined as per usual by
the Nard Dogg, David Bernardi.
Thanks for joining me, Nard Dogg, and we will catch you on the next episode of Full Court Press.
You've just been hit with Full Court Press. Courtesy of the men, the myths, the legends, Nard Dogg, and Raindrops